Hello and welcome to Optimal Expression, where we embrace our greatest potential to manifest our wildest dreams. Good people, I'm up early in the AM, out here in Chicago traffic. Yep, and that's what we're doing. And it's time for Manifest Monday. And as I said before, I will be sharing a story every month. Did I say every month? Every week. About something that I successfully manifested, okay? I also want to kind of tie in a tip or technique as well with the story. So I would say the tip or technique that I'd like to highlight today is the law of assumption. And the law of assumption says, whatever you want to have, do, be, or experience, assume that it is already yours. And even though it may not be true at the time, it will harden into fact. All right. Now, that is a universal law that Neville Goddard in particular talks a lot about. Okay. It's kind of like fake it till you make it, but it's better than fake it till you make it, because I don't know if you remember, if you have not checked out the first video, check out the first video where I talk about consciousness. All things emanate from consciousness. All things originate from consciousness. And when we're talking about manifesting, the most important thing to manifest something is that you become conscious of a new state of being that is related to whatever you want your new experience to be. So, the law of assumption is far more powerful than fake it till you make it, because when you're doing fake it till you make it, you are conscious that you're faking it, and in your mind you're faking it. And so that's why a lot of times that doesn't work. The law of assumption, when you don the feelings and thoughts that you would as if you already have whatever it is that you're seeking to have or desire to have, that's way more potent, because when you do that, you are becoming conscious of being something else. And in that feeling and thinking of assuming that whatever you want already is, you sync with it. This is when we go back to this frequency and vibration. And that is what the universe responds to. Okay, so first you have to become conscious of something, and in becoming conscious of something, you change your vibrational state with your feelings and your thinking nature. Okay, so in assuming that whatever you want already is, it already exists, and assuming that you already have ownership of it, whatever that is, and walking in it. Another thing, closing off the senses. Okay, this is where we don't walk by sight. Okay, because whatever you're currently seeing is a result of past thinking and feeling. And now we are entering a new state, and we're entering it consciously. Okay, so the law of assumption, whatever you assume to be true, even though it may not be true at the time, if you persist in that assumption, it will harden into fact. So now, let me share a story, a couple of stories of how I've employed the law of assumption, okay? And it has to do with employment. So those of you who may be seeking jobs, a better job, or just a job in particular, or entrepreneurship, whatever, you know, hopefully this story and this video can help you on that journey, okay? Okay, so I was working, this is story number one. I was working somewhere and I was ready to move on, okay? I don't know if I stated this before, but I've worked in IT for over 10 years now, okay? And so the one thing about IT professionals, we don't usually stay in one place too long. It's time to move on after a while. So I was in a place where I was working at a bank, and I was ready to move on. It was time to do something else. And I wanted to work at this hospital, because at that point in time in my career, I had done education, I had done corporate, and I had done finance, okay? And I really wanted to cover all the areas, all right? So I had not worked in medical, so I wanted to go to a medical environment, right? There's more I can learn and pick up and things of that nature. So, to make a long story short, I applied for the position for IT support at the hospital, okay? Went on the interviews, 2 interviews, all of that. They liked me, but I didn't get the gig. I was like, man, that bothered me. You know, it was like, why not me? But anyway, fine. I didn't get the position, but that's the position I wanted. So what I did was I made up my mind that that's the position that I wanted, and that's the position I was going to get. So, employing the law of assumption, I assumed that I already had the position, even though they told me I didn't, okay? And along with this law of assumption, I did visualization exercises, imagination exercises as part of my daily meditation in the mornings, okay? I probably persisted with this off and on, okay? I didn't do it every day for 2 months, but I would say off and on for about 2 months. And then I got a phone call, which was eerie because in my imagination, I imagined getting a phone call where they wanted to bring me in and interview me again for the position. This time when they brought me back in, I got the position, okay? So, keeping your senses closed off, and who knows, maybe because I wasn't consistently doing it every day, maybe that's why it took 2 months. But I did assume that the position was mine. And I did do visualization and imagination exercises on a regular basis, and it did come to fruition, okay? Now, one more. Once again, it was time to switch roles, time to go to a new job. At this point, I was coming off of a break because I was kind of burnt out. So I took almost a year off of IT, which is like really hard because the whole industry moves at such a quick pace. You could be really out of touch pretty fast. But I was fortunate, and I was ready to go back to work. I was out of work for a while, and so the first few positions that I was applying for, I was not getting replies. So, okay, now it's time to go in deep. So, as part of my meditation, I started incorporating an imagination exercise where I saw myself happily employed somewhere, okay? Now, what I did was I made a list of things that I wanted out of this position. I made a list of things. One of them being a meditation room. Okay? I said, man, you know what? And that was like my extra cherry on top. I said, you know what? It would be great if this place had a meditation room, right? All right. So that's what I did. I imagined, I went into, as part of my meditation in the mornings, I did this imagination where I was working somewhere happily that had a meditation room, okay? Also, just to put it out there, also, you know, I already knew the pay range that I wanted. I wanted someplace that was close proximity. I was tired of going downtown and driving far in traffic and stuff like that. So those are some other things that I had on my list of things that I wanted, okay? And I may have even scripted, and I'll talk about that as another tip, probably maybe next Monday, okay? But okay, I'm about to lose the little daylight that I had here. But anyway, let me wrap this up. So anyway, I go in for the interview. And on my way to the interview, as I'm walking to the conference room that they're going to interview me, I walk past a door that had a sign on it that said meditation room. Yeah, I'm not making this up. The interview had not even been conducted yet. at that time, but I already knew this was my position because that's what I asked for. So of course I still got to hold up my end of the bargain. I went in and I interviewed well, and I started probably another week and a half after that interview. Okay, so that's the story I want to share today. The law of assumption. Assume that no matter what you want, that it's already yours. Okay, even if it feels like it's not true right now. If you persist in that assumption, it will harden into fact. And I know it's probably a lot of y'all like, but you're bullshitting yourself. But you're not. The most important thing you need to understand about reality is that it's malleable. Reality is not static. It changes, but it takes its cues from you. It will change according to how you think and how you feel. So adjust your thinking and feeling nature by assuming that whatever you want to have, do, be, or experience is already yours. And it will be. And so it is. Hey, that's what I got for you this morning. Sorry if the lighting wasn't that good. Hey, it's early in the AM, but I wanted to get this out to you. I will see you guys next time, right here on Optimal Expression. Peace and love.